Jared Polin, FroKnowsPhoto.com, and I'm about to break down a recent wedding photo shoot that I did with my buddy Richie Myers. We'll see a little bit of my photos, maybe some of his photos, and I want to break it down so that you can get some fundamental ideas of what goes on at a wedding and why certain pictures are picked over other certain pictures, and just talk about wedding photography. But before we do that, a lot of what Richie and I have learned over the years has been the very basics, and it starts with a fundamental understanding of the exposure triangle, composition, and really the very basic stuff that takes you to the next level. And if you haven't picked up or checked out the FroKnowsPhoto Beginner Guide to Getting Out of Auto, it's a great 3-hour-long video. It's a great resource to help you understand how we go about capturing images like the ones you're going to see, how we get the exposure, how we get the composition, and how we really just understand the fundamentals so that we can get the shots without missing too many. So let's dive into this. Actually, before we dive into this, you're going to see 40 pictures. I went through and I picked 40. I delivered 520. Back in the day, I would deliver maybe 150, but that was with film. So 520 is a pretty good amount. I would never deliver 2,000 pictures. First off, we didn't even shoot 2,000 pictures on a wedding. I think I shot about 500 myself, and I know Richie shot a little bit more. I think we were at around 1,300 or 1,400 total. He did a lot more because he shot certain things a little more. The way that we work two shooters is interesting. So I try not to overshoot at a wedding. I mean, of course, it's digital, but you don't need to overdo it. You don't need to motor drive. You don't need to spray and pray. You need to just concentrate on capturing the moment. Once you get it, move on to something else. So you're going to see 40 of the images that I pulled, and let's start looking at that. The first one I pulled is just a basic, it's not really basic, but it's a shot of the bride putting on her earring. Now, she did this quickly. And because she did it quickly, I asked her to do it again and to hold it. I was like, okay, hold it there. I like that. And she didn't really hold it, but she was still fidgeting around, just moving. But I got a picture like this, and this is something that she may dig. She may really like, because these earrings may be from somebody special that you didn't know about. That's what happens at weddings. You don't know all the ins and outs and all the intricacies of who gave what and what everything means. So that's why you have to try to capture it, even if they don't tell you what the most important things are. I lead with a lot of questions. Please let me know who the most important people are at the wedding so that we can get that photo. And I tell the bride, the mothers and the fathers of the groom and the bride, that if there's something that you need, please let us know, because we don't know who the important people are as much as you do. So please let us know. So this is a shot. It's a good earring shot. It works well on an album. She may totally dig it. Now, a shot like this with she had a really, really custom and a really cool dress on. Basically what was going on here is Richie was setting up a window light portrait, and as he was asking her to, let more light in, I was taking shots like this. This isn't something that I normally would do if I was shooting a portrait on my own. But being that Richie was doing a portrait of her, a headshot, and I don't consider myself a second shooter, and I don't consider Richie a first or second shooter. I consider we're both shooters. We're there to capture everything that's going on. So neither of us have the lead more than the other. Sometimes you're like, all right, you take control of this, I'll take control of this, and you go on and you shoot. So this may not be a shot that I totally dig, but what I want to tell you is that even if you don't like a certain image, the bride and groom may love that image. You don't know why, so I'm not as picky with the images that I deliver to the bride and groom as if I was putting them in my own portfolio, because I never know what they're going to really, really like. Over 520 images, you know what? If I include an extra 15, 20 that I may not have wanted, but they love them, it's happened before where I'm like, I didn't like this image, but I included it, and it becomes their favorite image. So don't be over picky with what you are giving them. But, if it's out of focus, totally out of focus, don't give it to them. Sometimes just a little bit, they may never notice. It's just one of those things. You're less stringent on the images that you're delivering over a larger number than if you were keeping them for your own and showing them for your portfolio. So something like this, she may totally love. Something like this she may love. It may have something to do with the back of the dress. I like this high contrast black and white. I'm not a big fan of front light, shooting into the light like this and having certain things blow out, but I think this works. It's a good shot that she may just totally love. So what's going on here is she's creeping her way towards her future husband for the reveal. A reveal is something very important to capture. It's the first time, even if they're seeing each other before the wedding, it's the first time that the bride and the groom get to see each other. So in this case, we set the groom up just looking out onto the snow slopes, and she snuck up behind him. He could hear her walking because she had these really amazing shoes on, and we have multiple angles. Richie has one angle, I have the other angle. Oh, by the way, our clocks weren't set perfectly in our cameras, so that's something you may want to consider doing. Make sure that the clocks are set to the exact same time or pretty darn close, so that when you go and line them up in the computer, you have it's in chronological order. So here we go. We got this shot, she's creeping in, and then this shot is from the other angle. This is Richie's angle. He took the photos of him, the groom, waiting for her to come out. He's got the same thing with her creeping, and he's waiting. Great exposures. I have to say, what was going on with our exposures, it's funny. Richie's at 250 ISO, and I'm at 800 ISO. I shoot at higher ISOs, that's just me. I try to go for those faster shutter speeds. He's also at f2.2, so he's letting in a lot more light. Again, a lot of these understandings and the fundamentals of these settings that we're talking about, you'll pick that up if you go and get the FroKnowsPhoto Beginner Guide, FroKnowsPhoto.com/guide. So how are we doing our settings? We're shooting manual. We like to guess what we're doing. We do use the meter inside, but a lot of the times we're taking a picture in a new situation and we're checking the back of the screen. Nikon and Canon and whoever makes cameras gave us the back of the screen for a reason. It's not an exact representation of what the final image is going to look like, but it's pretty darn close, and that's why we will take a picture and check out the settings first. We want to lock our settings in and then shoot, because once our settings are right, if the lights aren't changing, we don't need to constantly shoot and chimp and shoot, chimp and look, you know? Chimping's when you look at the back of the screen. It's okay to do to get your settings right. Moving on, boom. You can see her amazing shoes. They're awesome. All the groomsmen wore those type of shoes, the Chucks or whatever they are, the Vans. Sorry, Richie would yell at me. I'm going to sneeze. Oh, and I said pineapple. Somebody told me that if you say pineapple before you sneeze, it goes away. And I guess it works. I thought pineapple. I didn't say it. So here they are kissing. I'm going to go back to the other one. This is a simple kiss. And this is the now more tongue. From time to time, depending on the couple, I don't know, they're doing a lovely, lovely soft kiss. And then I say, more tongue. Why not? More tongue. Just something to lighten up the mood. They love it. They had fun. They did it. You never know what they're going to do. And then here she is right behind him. These aren't in order, like I said. But then this is an angle that Richie captured, different than what I captured. I'm showing them the picture of them putting their tongues out, and they dug it. So here we have a group shot. This is shot with Richie. Richie shot this straight on, D700. Really nice. He may have been popping the flash. Actually, no. With 400th of a second, he wasn't popping the flash off at this time. The light was great. With the snow and an overcast day and the snow coming down, it's a big-ass softbox. It's really bright. So the flash isn't going to do too much. So you can see right here, by the way, that this is a snowflake picked up right here really close to the camera. I like this. They were troopers. They wanted to be out in the snow. So somebody wrote Jamie loves Tom. So then they put their handprints there, and I took a picture of it. This is just something that happens that you're like, oh, I should probably take a picture of that. Soft light, Jamie outside, really love this shot. Richie got this, and I love the natural vignette coming out of the 70 to 200. That lens has a vignette. Like, it's always, and a vignette is the blacking around the edges, but it draws you in. We took it away in one of the edits, and I didn't like it. I like the natural vignette that's drawing you into the image. Boom. Just the snowflakes. They loved being outside. Snow. These are great pictures in my mind. I like that type of stuff. Then just having them walk away. And then jumping, they're having fun, and then they wanted a jumping shot from above. It's hard to tell, but it's kind of like Superman, and they're going to take off. So multiple angles are important at weddings. I like two shooters. I don't think one photographer can cover every single angle. I know that Richie's good enough to shoot a wedding on his own, but there's better images that can happen when you're both shooting, because you can't capture everything at the same time. Maybe a shot of a ring when Richie's doing a shot of them dancing, or I was on the ground getting a low angle. Richie was having trouble getting this jumping shot. Not settings-wise, just visualizing and seeing it, because it's like, I can't tell that you're jumping. So at that case, I was like, okay, I'll do the jumping from the side. And that's exactly what I did, and I got that shot. I just think it works well with two 2 photographers, not 3. You could have 3, but 2 is important. You know, it may cost you a couple bucks to bring out a second photographer, but I try, if I'm going to do weddings, to sell it on the fact that, look, multiple shooters, 2 angles, going to cover better shots, going to get multiple images that are different, two people's creative styles. Richie's got a different style than me. Certain things I like, certain things I may not like, but it doesn't matter what I like. It matters what the bride and the groom like. So moving forward, a fun shot of everybody peeing on the trees. By the way, the bride wanted that. She, after the first kiss, wanted to do that. So I showed this because I shot her wedding and I shot her wedding. They both have multiple kids now, but I've shot a lot. The reason I took this wedding is because I shot some of their friends' weddings, and they asked me, and part of it was I knew that Tom and Jamie were a ton of fun. They were gonna have a great wedding. They were gonna do weird things. They are laid back. They're extreme. They're great people, and that's why I took the wedding and shot it for them. So we have a cake shot. This is my cake shot, popping a flash off because there's not a lot of light in there. I was more bouncing it off to the side, hitting everything and filling it in like this. And then Richie has a cake shot from the side. He's got a flash off to the side, a Q flash that he's triggering with a wireless trigger. And he's got a flash on camera for fill in the front, and then the side light over there, which adds in for great dimension. So Richie's here standing on a median because they are about to come down. The bride and the groom, we were on a mountain and it was snowing, and they have a tubing lane, so they got permission to go up and to tube down together. She did it in her wedding dress, he did it in his tux. All she put on was, I don't even know if she put on a jacket, she put on boots. That was it. She put on boots and she went and did this. So Richie was going to shoot this with a flash, and I was going to shoot it at 12,800 ISO with the D4 because I wanted to get a different angle than what he was getting. We only had one chance to get this right. They weren't going to go up there and do it again because it takes 7 minutes to go up that ramp. So Richie got permission to go out into the middle and get this picture. So here they are coming down. That is not all grain. That's really snow. So you got Tom in the right lane, you got Jamie over here. I not guessed my settings. I prepared my settings by taking sample shots of other people coming down the mountain. Knew there wasn't going to be light in her face because it was pretty damn dark out. So here she is, some creative editing I ended up doing. I love the look that she is not wearing a jacket, she's just wearing her wedding dress. Sure, it's grainy, I'm waiting for it to load. I had the one-to-one previews, but yeah, that's grain, but so what? This is capturing a moment that was going to happen once. She's coming down the mountain and boom, I capture it, 12,800. Closer, Richie popping the flash off. You can see what's happening as the flash bounces off the snow back into the camera, and you pick it up here, but that works. And then, you know, drag your feet, having her drag her feet, and then it's just funny. The two jokesters over here, they were warned twice that they'd get kicked out if they tried going up the mountain. They thought they'd be able to do it, but there's no way, so they got stopped. Down at the bottom, great shot here, black and white option, color option, and then the end of the night, Richie set up a flash, bounced it off the brick wall, and it's a nice light. Their goal was they wanted a picture with the snow slopes in the background. That's exactly what we gave them. I had a list of what they wanted us to capture. This was one of them. So moving forward, you've got a dip shot, and it was snowing and it was wet, but we're outside shooting this stuff. Another dip shot, and then the same shot in black and white to give her multiple options of something. How are we doing on time? Good on time. So there's a lot of things you can do. I'll put up all these full res of these 40 shots so you guys can peruse them and check out the settings and do what you want with them. But really, we went outside. We were in the snow. Our cameras were getting wet. Our lenses were getting wet. But we're using Nikons. We're using even the Canons. Whatever you're using, just make sure that it's sealed and you're not opening changing lenses out in the snow or in the rain. You're taking the proper precautions, the common sense things that if you're outside in the freezing cold and you go right inside to the warmth, well, your lenses are going to fog up. So you have to take all that into consideration when you're out there doing a shoot. We should have brought an assistant to grab our bags. Sorry, Sam Green. I didn't think of you soon enough. I would have called you. I would have taken you up with us. But sorry. Next time. A third assistant, you throw them $100, you throw them $125 to come out. They're going to learn. They're going to grab your bags so that you can keep an eye, so they can keep an eye on them. Not that anybody's going to steal anything. You never know, that could happen. But just for the fact that it would be good to have somebody to carry the bags. So we went through this wedding. I already delivered everything. We shot it on Saturday. I delivered all of the full reses by Wednesday because my job was done at that point. I wanted to, they were going away in 2 weeks for their honeymoon. I wanted to deliver the images as soon as possible. One, because you get a wedding done. And I'll tell you that when you do a wedding with an album, which I do albums, or I have with weddings, I didn't do one in this case. Sometimes it takes a year unless you're really forceful and like, look, you got to pick these pictures now, and you're proactive in getting it done. In this case, I had to go through and edit the 520 keepers, and I delivered them. I edited them over a 2 to 3 day period. Probably about 200 or 150 pictures at a time. I almost said chunks, because I wanted to get them done and delivered so that they could share them with their families and have them, and my job's done. Because once you're delivered, you get paid, you're done, you're good, and you're happy. So the moral of the story, we had a great time. We understand the basics. We threw in flash. We changed our compositions. We understand our exposures. Again, a lot of the stuff from the FroKnowsPhoto beginner guide. If you want to get out of auto, or you're not really sure about the exposure triangle, I'm going to plug it because that's what I have to do to help you guys that are looking to take it to the next step. Check it out, FroKnowsPhoto.com/guide. Pick up the t-shirts. They are in the FroKnowsPhoto store, store.FroKnowsPhoto.com. All the store stuff. It helps me keep giving you these free videos. I give you the free videos, the ones that people that want to take it to the next step and pick up the 3-hour guide that helps support the site, helps us keep growing and giving you more and more information. I hope you enjoyed this information from the wedding. Hopefully you could take something home. But wedding photography is a great place to be if you can get it. I enjoy shooting weddings. I do not take them very often. I did this one after telling them no twice. They came back to me and like, okay, could you do it? And I was like, you know what? What am I going to be doing that Saturday? I don't know, but why not? I shot their friends' weddings. I know it's not going to be a problem wedding. These are great people. We'll have fun. We'll do a good job and make them happy. And they love their photos. So that's where I'll leave it, guys. Thank you for... I'm talking a lot. Thank you very much for watching. Jared Polin, FroKnowsPhoto.com. See ya. Thank you for watching this video. If you'd like to subscribe to my YouTube channel, just click the subscribe button right here below the video, as YouTube has made the change. And one more thing, click on subscription updates, manage subscriptions, and if you would like to get an email every time I upload a new video, click this box. If you'd like to see it in your feed on YouTube, click that box. And over on FroKnowsPhoto.com, if you haven't signed up for the FroKnowsPhoto email list, you can go ahead and put your name in this box, your email in this box, hit send it, and I will send you a free photo guide, a guide to capturing motion in low light situations. If you're new to photography, or you're somewhere in the intermediate range looking to learn a little bit more about your camera and how to get out of auto, don't forget about the FroKnowsPhoto Beginner Guide, a guide to getting out of auto. It's at a special price right now. It's a 3-hour-long video. You can buy it as an instant download or as a physical copy with free shipping around the world. So thank you guys very much for watching.